Alright, hey everybody, I'm Paulister.
I'm Zed.
And this is Kuso. It's a lovely 2D platformer with an incredible pixelated art style and an even better soundtrack. What we're going to be doing today is the Love plus Kuso 100% category. This includes, as you will see, both the Kuso levels that were made for this game, the Love levels that were remastered from the 2014 prequel to this game, all together, starting from Love, going to Kuso, and at the same time collecting all 30 collectibles, which are scattered throughout all of these stages. Now, there is a lovely little, some little features and Easter eggs we're going to see throughout this game can be explained by a certain credit stage that I have set as an incentive for this game. Currently, we stand somewhere at $60 out of 200, so it would be really cool to get some closure on this entire storyline if you were to donate for that and we can raise enough money for it. Either way.
Yeah, just donate $140 after this great run you just saw.
Easy. It's easy. Alright, so I'm ready. Is the timer ready? Alright, we shall begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oops. It's a tricky jump, this one. We're trying to get to the middle trampoline, which is not the easiest thing to do. The first mechanic that you will see are these little blinking figurines that we leave behind. These are checkpoints. That's a great feature about this game, is that I said it's a great feature that you can just set checkpoints wherever you want, and when you die, you just go back to them. The only caveat is you need to be extra careful not to die or kill your checkpoint, rather, by setting it in Hazard's way, because that resets it to the start of the stage, and that means you're going to have to redo the entire stage if you die with the checkpoint reset. Oops.
Happened to me at one of the longest stages in the game at a marathon run recently, so...
Yeah. So that was the first collectible we got out of 30 total. Hang on. There we go. The nerves are setting in, as you can tell.
Imagine the nerves.
Can we not? Thank you. And I said, make the jump. Thank you. And so this is one of the longer stages of the game. Make sure there are no moving hazards here. So there's really not much risk of losing your precious checkpoint. But there is a lovely little skip that we're going to do just now. We're going to see it.
There it is.
Just a teeny tiny little gap, and if you just bonk on the platform above it, then you don't get killed.
Just saw it the second time even, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is what we do here. We give you a plethora of skips and examples of said skips. Let's try this.
I always think the tops of the pillars look like the face of Flat Eric, you know, the little yellow guy from ESA Wazoo.
Mm-hmm. They look like Toad to me. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. So here's one of the more sneakier collectibles that we can get. Not exactly the sneakiest. You'll see which one is. But we're going to set a checkpoint right at the start of this hidden tunnel because the cake is a lie. And of course, we can just drop down again and finish the stage. You don't really have to move from side to side for this one. Really, it's just drop down in the middle and you're good to go. There is a skip you can do here. You can get a faster cycle by just doing 2 of these platforms at once. I'm not going to go for it. I got it once in practice exactly, but it's pretty precise, so I'd rather not do it here.
I got it once and got the world record in IL, but then Majanese came back and took the world record again. And
yes. Majanese, we should explain, is a, let's just say a god at this game?
At least.
Yes. So, for the longest time, I held the world record for this game at a solid 21:20. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, 21:20 was the world record, and then Mayonnaise came in and gave us a 17-minute time, because why not? Because you can.
The crazy thing is, he didn't just submit it for this category, he submitted a new world record for every single category of this game. This includes Kuso, Love, and Love plus Kuso, both any percent and 100%. So 6 runs, which are basically pretty much humanly perfect.
Yes, basically. As you do. Because, you know, we need more game guys in the world.
Absolutely.
Gonna hop over the saw there, and then die to the next one. As you do. So yeah, this is a very cycle-based stage. Exercise care. when jumping over these platforms. Oops.
Just hit the suicide button.
Yes, I fat-fingered it. So yeah, we're gonna stop here, do an extra hop, and then that should set us up perfectly. And if we just do perfect bounces, we shouldn't be hit by any of these rising and falling totem poles, as I like to call them. And as I've been calling them ever since 5 seconds ago. So this stage is pretty much... Really, there's not much to do until that first platform just goes off screen. So if you have anything to say, then just go ahead for donations.
I think this will be an excellent time for a selfie.
Thank you. All right. So now I'm going to try and listen in on an audio cue. Okay, we didn't get it. That means I didn't die. So we're trying to hop over this big pillar, and what that did was gave us a Steam achievement. But I already have it, so nothing changed. Yeah. So again, this is a very, very slow stage, and I cannot stress this enough. We do have a donation? All right, bring it in.
Ricekey06 donated $40. Hello from the Stream 2 crowd. Let's
Hello.
get the credit stage in Kuso. Here's my $40 towards it.
100 to go. Come on, folks. You can do it.
All right, there it is.
Nice.
That's a bit slow of a stage, but I'll take it. Normally, you're supposed to just go under with the platform because the bottom of the totem pole at the end doesn't kill you. So the path to this clock seems a bit broken off, but if we touch this bubble, the path is suddenly unlocked. Again, this is one of the longer stages and one of the more demanding ones.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to BBF there. This is what I call the Boshi jump, because it's just jumping in between two needles. It's great. It's not as precise as your regular I Want to Be the Guy fan game, but it looks... I just want to be swagging it, and it looks cool. So I call it that.
In general, I think the whole game looks pretty cool. And if you haven't noticed yet, all the levels are just composed out of 3 colors. One is white, one is black, and each level has one individual third color. And that's pretty nice.
Precisely. And it's beautiful. So, careful with these droplets, because they can trip you up quite a bit. There we go.
Nice.
And I'm going to mash checkpoint, because I can. And then some more projectiles are here. So we're just going to hop over them. I'm going to skip this one instead of waiting there. Did I mention how much I'll be donating? Oops. for this run? No. Basically, at the end of the run, you get 3 different tallies. One is your jumps, then is your checkpoints, and then your deaths. I will be donating 1 cent for every point in each of those counters. So I'm going to be mashing the checkpoint a lot to help a great cause. Alright, so you can just walk over these as if you were running in a Super Mario game. It's cool. Here's another more cycle-based stage here. Lovely brown color. We can get through some of these cycles more quickly, like that, just by walking through them. And then, again here, there's just a gap that just forms and you can just drop down. So you might have noticed up top, top left, there's a frame counter. So because timing with seconds and minutes is too cool, or not cool enough, we are counting with frames. So the last stage, on average, takes about 5,000 frames, and the estimate is 90,000 of those. So I will know by the time we hit the last stage if I'm going to be over estimate or not. Hopefully I won't be, but you never know. Anyway.
Now we're thinking with portals.
Yes, this is the only stage you will see portals in.
And I think the only that is just exactly one screen.
Yes, exactly. Also that. And this is the last stage of the Love level set. It's, again, the philosophy of these last stages of each of the level sets is an amalgamation of everything that you have seen in the previous stages. I'm going to go back and set a checkpoint because I don't trust myself. And then another drop down here. This time you actually have to dodge it. You can't just sit idly in the middle. Here's a little skip we do.
Shoutouts to Gelly.
Shoutouts to Gelly for the auto splitter and showing us that skip. before our race this ESA Summer 19, apparently you can just, you know, oops.
Clip into the appearing platforms and get pushed upwards.
Yeah, clip into the platforms above you. 1 second. I'm just gonna...
Take your time.
Yeah, it's not like we have like a gigantic incentive to get under. There we go. That's better. Okay. Okay, one last of this sweeping little clock thingy. Oh. Once more. With gusto this time. There we go. And that's the last obstacle before going into the Kuso level set. There's 25 stages here. And there's 20 collectibles to get. Lovely upward section. I get tripped up a lot there, I'll admit. So yeah, your first clock there, if you get bonked by the first platform and then hold right, then it'll just let you pass without dying. So just drop down here, set a checkpoint, and then go into this little tunnel, because there's a little cat there, and a clock. So, adorableness and speedrun objectives, all in one neat little tunnel package. So, that's cool, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's great when the developers think of just places where they can throw in multiple stuff for players.
It's Fred's cat. I don't know. Charlie? What's his name?
I believe it's Charlie. If you want to know more about Charlie, do donate. Donate for the credit stage incentive. We will see one more cameo of Charlie at the end there.
Who doesn't love cats?
Yes. So I will now spend this entire stage reminding myself to collect the clock here, because many a 100% run have failed because I failed to get the clock here. So please, Paul, do not forget to get the clock here. Thanks.
I'll remind you as well.
Thanks, man. Just near the end of the stage, remind me, and I'll ensure that it is collected. If I forget this clock, I'll just donate $10. I don't care. On top of everything, of course, because you can never give enough money to charity.
Don't forget the clock, yeah.
There we go. It's in here, another cat. You saw it very briefly because we also need to go fast. 'Tis a speedrun after all. So we jump here. There's a very consistent method of dodging all of these bullets. Oops. So, really, there's not much... Oops. There we go. Usually when it hits a wall, you know that that's your visual cue to move forward.
This is the only RNG in the game that can slightly manipulate your speed in the run by a few frames.
A few frames, honestly. This is as basic as it gets. If you want to go for aisle record in this stage, then that's where it affects it. But if you're like me and you just have a consistent strat, who cares? So...
Shout out to James Burnett for the amazing soundtrack. It's really sad in the speedrun each stage has an amazing individual track, and we just hear a few seconds of it because we're running through them.
We hear the best seconds, I think.
Yeah. But the soundtrack is also available on Steam and on Bandcamp if you're interested in listening it. I bought it in Bandcamp when I was running the game, and then I listened to it, and I was always like, "Hey, I don't know this section of the track. It's interesting," because I didn't know it existed because I was always exiting the level before the track reached that. Little fun fact.
It goes, yeah. Alright, and now here's the Monka S skip. I failed it multiple times because I'm a doofus. But I got it this time, so that's good. Woo! So you just skip a bunch of trampolines there and a bunch of waiting. That's about 10 seconds right there. Let's not forget the clock in the middle of this.
Awesome.
And I'm just glad this one doesn't have a clock because it would be a pain in the rear.
Despite the nice Greek color flag, color scheme flag thingy.
Yeah, it's an annoying one. I just
Greek
don't
flag
like this weapon.
Yeah, I had this stage myself.
So we're just gonna get into this protective barrier, set our checkpoint. This is the last checkpoint we're gonna set. Please don't kill me. As you did. Thank you for that. And now here's another cool little soundtrack. More of an orange guy myself, so this is more my field. So here's another clock here. It's one of the easier ones to get because it's just in the way. You just need to... Yeah, just gonna save myself because... There we go. Gonna stall here for a bit because if you go too fast, you can actually get killed by these cannons. So always exercise caution in that section. Also exercise caution to not die, because dying is bad. So normally there's a very fast strat in this stage as well, but we're gonna go up top, because that's where our clock is. Oops, shouldn't have jumped. Alright, there's really not much happening here, so we can just throw some donations down the road.
Nev Flynn donated $5. This is blazing hot Kuso.
Yes. Good meme. Good meme. So yeah, another stage. This one's more of the one of the more abstract ones. And that's really bad for us because the fact that there's all these jagged edges gives our character a little bit of airtime, just a teensy weensy bit. There's not much there. The problem with that, again, once I make it through, is that you cannot reliably go fast and set checkpoints, because when you're airborne, you can't set a checkpoint. So this proves to be a big issue with us.
Only level set where there's a music transition, by the way, that fits together. I love that.
So here's the most devious clock that you're gonna get. So we're going outside of the stage, jumping up here, at the same time going through the clouds. We're going to go up top, encounter another cat, get the clock, come back.
This is unusual because usually the color white means either it's a hazard or it's something you can interact with. So it's unusual that you could just walk on white stuff right there.
Yeah, it's not as unusual as you might think, and we'll explain why that is later on a certain stage coming up, which has a lovely skip. But for now, just going up these platforms. There's some fast strats. If you're a fast like game guy, you can do all 4 of these alternating platforms very quickly. I'm gonna baby it, unfortunately, because I'm not that good today. Okay. There we go. And then one, oops. Ah, yes. That's a very tight jump at the end there. So now you're gonna see this fan at the bottom of the screen. We're gonna go through it. Like that.
Easy.
Easy every time. There is a bit of a visual cue that you can just stand on and you'll be able to drop through 100% of the time. Don't worry about it. So, another little quirk about this stage in particular. Normally, every stage has its own clock, and there is this one for this stage. So the quirk for this stage is you're gonna run over here, get the clock, but we're gonna keep moving because there's a cat gif and another clock. I do advise not to place any checkpoints during that section because it's near impossible to make your way through that.
You would have to erase the checkpoint and then make suicide and replay the whole level otherwise.
Okay. This is a very funky soundtrack. It's
Nice.
great. So now we have to keep on this top path because of that clock at the end. Now here's the quirk I mentioned. Normally these saws would have killed you, but not here because the developer forgot to put the hitbox. Oopsie.
Now there is a versus mode in this game where they are suddenly fixed. Now imagine playing versus for the first time not knowing that.
Yeah, and we found that out the hard way. Both me and Zed, while we were just playing around, practicing for our race. So it was the most fun, amusing little quirk that we saw. So it was cool. It was really cool. Moving on. So there's a bunch of dots here. They can go over your head, not killing you, but you really don't want to count on that. You just want to get your consistent cycles in and just move forward. We're going to be jumping over these little jets here.
Are we going for it?
No. It's near impossible to go through that, and I've just not bothered
But it doesn't lose any time. Nah, whatever.
Nah, it's whatever. So, yeah,
my favorite
here's...
music coming up.
This is very Monka-S.
Yeah, don't talk too much, dude. Alright, you can do that. I believe in you.
Alright. I could have gotten a better cycle there, but alas I didn't. It's fine. So we don't get the safety platforms because we got that. It's, yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I'm just setting the checkpoint
Okay.
to do a little bit faster. Just to save a little bit of time.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna mash the checkpoint to raise all the money for charity. Dear God, please don't die. Because now my checkpoint has reset. You heard that sound there. So if I die, that's it. I'm back to the start of the level. And we're safe. Okay. So I'm just gonna mash it a little bit more. Okay. And there's another clock here at the last platform. And here we have these first alternating platforms. They just go on and on and on, going through the buzzsaws. And now here's a little skip you can do. By dying here, and then dropping down again, you have set yourself a clear path to move forward, which is pretty cool.
What you're supposed to do is walk left and right all the time until the path
Yeah.
downward is ready. But if you just take a death, it's faster. It is possible to get this path straight and not die, but that was the game guy's strat and
Yeah.
basically impossible.
Yeah, don't even bother. If it's a game guy strat, just know it's really hard. Anyway, we're at the last stage already, and it's pretty cool. It's, again, an amalgamation of everything that we have seen previously in the Kuso level set. So we're gonna be just making our way through. There's one last clock here that we need to collect. It's later down the stage, but yeah, this is my personal favorite music in the game because you get to hear it so much, first and foremost.
Imagine chanting this out loud in the silent practice room.
We would never do that.
We would never do that.
Never do that. A lot of things happen in the silent practice room with the Kuso boys. Let's just not talk about it.
What happened at summer stays at summer.
Yes. If you want to join us at ESA Summer, come to Malmö over in July. So yeah, we got our last clock, and that should be a legitimate run at this point. Come on.
You're still well in estimate.
Oops. Yeah, well underestimate. Yeah, thankfully I'm relatively consistent in this run, so there's no worries there. So we're almost ready on time. Get ready on that. One last... Oops. Come on.
You can. I mean, you still have time for donation.
Uh-huh.
for the credits now. Put it in.
All right, we did it,
$100.
and time. That's a PB! Woo! We did it.
Awesome.
Yay! And it's legit. It's
Yeah,
30 out of 30
30 out of 30.
collectibles. So if you'll excuse me, I will now crunch the numbers as to what I owe you guys for Save the Children. But yeah, it was a great run, I feel. While I crunch the numbers, you can run some donations. It's fine. You wish.
If you're
Oops.
interested in joining this community, we have a Discord of Fredwood has a Discord for his games, Kuso, and he also released a new game recently, Pulstario, where you like
Yeah,
a little spaceship.
Pulstario.
Also has
Lovely.
also very speedrun friendly. He's really supportive. He really likes to help us in the speedrunning community and get things done. So what do you owe?
So I owe $23.48, but because I was 10 seconds under my PB, I'll add an extra $10. It's fine. So $33.48 because I'm a broke student. Please help me. I need food anyway. But
And I'm going to double that.
you're gonna double that?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's 33.48 times 2. You can run the numbers. I'm not gonna do any more of that. But yeah, that was a lovely Love Plus Kuso run. So did we meet the incentive eventually? Well, all right. You don't have it there. Let me just look it up then, because I have it right here myself. We are at 110 out of 200, so unfortunately, it's not happening.
Sad.
It's sad, but you can buy the game and see the credit stage for yourself either way. But yeah, I'm just gonna...
Game
leave
is
it.
cheap. It's available on Steam and on Switch,
Yep.
and it's just throw a few bucks. I think $5.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. We have Defy Gravity up next. I'm sure that's gonna be really fun. But yeah, that's it from me.
That's it for me as well.
All right, and keep donating for Save the Children. It's a great cause, and enjoy the rest of the marathon. Bye-bye.